Welcome to Learn to Live Stress-Free. This is Christine Wright with Dr. Robert Wright Jr. of www.stressfreenow.info.
Hi, this is Dr. Bob, the Stress and Pain Relief Doctor, coming to you today from Amsterdam, Netherlands. Two parts. So apparently at some point, people in the other section said, hey, we're also Dutch. So at least that's what I've been told. So here's the thing. I want to talk to you today about how to turn lemons into lemonade. So I've been experiencing quite a few racist incidents while traveling. Let's see, April 15th on a repositioning cruise, and then I ended up in Rome, and then from Rome I spent 6 days in Amsterdam, and no, I'm broadcasting, man. I spent 6 days in Amsterdam, and then I took the cruise for 15 days to the Baltic region, and now I'm back in Amsterdam, and so guess what? I've been tallying up all the white privilege incidents that have happened on this trip. And now I'm going to contact a guy in Canada who wrote the book. It's called Traveling While Black. So he's been to so many countries. So I've been to about 75 countries. And so some of this stuff is hysterical because this is more than you're next in line and the person, they try to serve the person behind you first. This is about the artificial intelligence systems that are being put in place to do maximum surveillance. So here would be an example. Since March 2022, I've been to about 25 countries because I was pissed off when the pandemic struck and I lost $5,000 on my round the world ticket. I was scheduled to go take a 75-day trip to 12 countries, and then the pandemic struck. So what ended up happening, who would think it would last over 2 years? So I lost $5,000 on my round the world ticket, and so I was pissed off. And I said, when the international green travel light comes back on, I'm going to travel with abandon. So now, since March 2022, I've been to about 25 countries. I've been on 6 cruises, and I've been traveling in South America, the Caribbean. No, it's been Central America, the Caribbean, and Europe, and the Baltic region. And so one of the most interesting aspects of this trip is that I have met so many people that have traveled 10 times more than I have. So I met at least 10 people that have been on over 100 cruises. Can you imagine that? Over 100 cruises. I've been on like 20 cruises, so I was like, I can't see the caboose to 100 cruises. Then I was fortunate to meet the magician, Greg Gleason, on the ship. He told me that, well, actually in his presentation during his magic acts, this guy is as famous as David Copperfield. He's done over 10,000 shows in Las Vegas and has performed on over 600 cruises. Now, I don't know about you, that's mind-boggling. 600 cruises? Oh my God. But here's the best part. He's getting paid. How you like that? I want to get paid to travel. I like that magic act. And so Greg is a great guy. I had lunch with him, dinner with him, and I tell you, he has that secret sauce, you know. So have you ever noticed that in life there seem to be some people that just seem to be gliding through life easily? They don't seem strained like most people. They are just moving around and enjoying life. And so I want you to be in that category. And so one of the ways to do that is to figure out how, no matter what happens to you, to turn lemons into lemonade. So here's how am I going to do it. Now, since I have money on my card, and my card is not working. When I fly to London, I'm going to the United States Embassy. And since this is the weekend, that I'm going to stay outside the United States Embassy until they open on Monday morning, because I want to know how. I spoke to the manager of my bank. They cleared my card, and my card is being blocked. So who are the bad guys that would be blocking my card? If she input into the system, while it's in Amsterdam, while it's in London, my card is clear, open until June 1st. This is May 20th. And I go to make a 14-euro purchase. And so that is an example of traveling while black, where you got money in the bank, you got money on your card, you go to, so here's a really good one. My wife passed away in 2018, and the place where my wife was buried, I had wanted to be there for the first anniversary of her passing at the cemetery to honor her. But as would have it, I hadn't. I was just about to make the final payment on the funeral, because funerals cost a lot, and so I sent a check down to the funeral home by certified mail. And then I found out that my bank in New York, on which the check was drawn, had put a hold on my account for 6 business days. So that meant that the check that I sent to the funeral home, if they deposited that check, and that was a brother driving a really nice car. I can't tell if that's a Mercedes or Beamer or whatever, but he was waving hello. So that's really cool. So here's the thing. So what happened is that in the state of Florida, if you bounce a check over $250, that's a Class C felony. So guess what? My bank, even though the check was good, they had put a hold on my account for 6 business days, which means that check was going to bounce. So because it was the weekend, once I found that out, I bought a ticket and I flew down to Fort Lauderdale so that I could beat the check to the funeral home. And so I arrived in the Fort Lauderdale airport at 1 o'clock in the morning. So now it was Sunday night. So actually it was Monday morning, because I flew out on Sunday. So I'm at the car rental place, Hertz Car Rental. I want to get this in really good, because Hertz later went bankrupt. But here's the thing. So I've been renting cars since the 1980s. And I had never left the car rental counter without a car. So look at how bad this situation was. Now, because my bank unexpectedly put a hold on funds that were good, I had to fly down to Florida, because I had already mailed out the check to the funeral home. So I beat that check down there, and I went and I paid them cash. I think it was around $1,800 or something like that. So, but here's why I'm telling this story. I'm in the Fort Lauderdale airport at the Hertz rental counter. You got to picture this. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I've been renting cars since the 1980s, and I have never left the car rental counter without a car. But this black woman at the counter, with I don't know what kind of face to say, when she swiped my card, it grabbed the deposit for the car, but then it denied me. She said my card is declined. So I said, wait a minute. I think they swiped the money with my card because I have money on this card, and so how could it be declined? So she says, I don't know, it's declined. So I said, okay, let's call the Hertz 800 number, the corporate office. So I did. Even though it's 1 o'clock in the morning in Florida, I called the Hertz corporate office and we get somebody on the phone. And they confirm that the deposit necessary for the car, I think it was like $200, because I was just going to be there for a couple of days, or 200 or 250, was swiped off my card. So I said to the woman, okay, here's the Hertz corporate person. They said that the money was taken off my credit card. It's being held as a deposit. And you know what the black girl said to me? She said, we don't have to listen to the corporate office. So that was a new one. And so that is one of the things I want to talk about in the state of Florida, is that you have black Confederates. Not only are they still fighting the Civil War, but you have black people that will do anything to try to trip up another black person. And so she says, well, I guess you'll have to wait till the morning. I said, oh, well, you think I'm going to sleep in the airport and wait till the manager comes in at 9 o'clock? So here's the thing. So I took a taxi to my house, and the bottom line is that when I called later with the manager, he was basically saying there's nothing he could do. So I got on the phone with Hertz Corporate. I got my $200 back, but now I was in Florida without a car. And so this is the point of my story. I'm saying this is an example of traveling while black. And in this case, this was a black person with a smile trying to kneecap me. But that didn't work because I just took taxis to the funeral home, paid them their cash. However, think of this. That meant that I was not able to be at the grave site to honor my wife. So do you think I was happy about that? So the good news is, and then the lemonade part of this story is that because those things happen, certain other things happen, really good things happening in the timeline. And because I was in Florida, I had fabulous neighbors. Got back to New York and had all these surprises. So when you confronted with a situation where it looks like somebody's trying to hit you with a pie in the face, do a timeout, step back, take a deep breath, and think of this like the Chinese character for crisis. The Chinese character for crisis has two parts. It has crisis and it has opportunity. So the crisis provides you an opportunity. So here I am in Amsterdam. So I got, I don't want to use the word double cross, but let's just say people lied to me. And that's exactly what we're talking about. I remember years ago, a lady said to me, she said, well, Bob, this won't be the last time that someone lies to you. And that's the kind of world we're living in. So since we have so many liars, and I want to say, unfortunately, this time in Amsterdam, I was taking the train, and I've just been surprised at how many rude people there are. I felt like I was in Penn Station, Penn Central. When I got off the ship, I decided to walk to the train station, and there was a huge group, and probably most of those people are not from Amsterdam. They're not. And they came in a huge swath, like a flock of birds, and they are walking, and we have to walk the other way. And they were like, well, that's your problem. How are we going to get through? They weren't even giving us one leg. So it reminded me of being on 42nd Street and it's raining, and you're walking down the street with your umbrella, and then as other people approach you, you always start moving your umbrella until you get pissed off and you say, I'm not moving my umbrella, and I'm not going to let people believe me. And so that's where I am. I'm not moving my sunshine umbrella, and I'm not going to let anybody spoil my joy. So now I'm flying out to London today, and I have absolutely no idea what's going to happen when I get there. But the worst case scenario is that I go to the United States Embassy and stand at the. But if if things go well, my friends will be at the airport waiting for me when I come out. If they're not, I got a plan B, C, D, E, and F. And so the bottom line is that this situation has created a new podcast series. It's called Traveling While Black. And I'm going to interview people all over the world talking about travel. It doesn't matter if it's domestic or international. I guess there's some people going into space. I'm not looking to do that. But this is Dr. Bob from stressfreenow.info coming to you from Amsterdam. Until next time, remember to do just to put on your own oxygen mask first before assisting others. Until next time, from Stress Free Now podcast, be safe and be well.